Let's call the meeting to order. See the quorum. Yeah, let's do a roll call.
Mark Robinson, president. Scott Orson, president. Did I say president?
Yeah.
Chris Watt, president.
Jen Nash present.
David Sherbuck present. Is anyone recording this meeting?
Justin.
It's just us. And is there any public comment? Public?
One online, but no comment.
One. And Chris, look for the water quality.
Again, all tests that we received right now have been free and clear. We did, total call form for the month, it's fine. And we did actually receive all non-detectable fluoride results. Yep. We still have, waiting on a few others. As soon as those come in, I'll get them up.
What's typically the perchlorate source? Because I know that farmers has had closed
Like explosives, fireworks, jet fuel, something like that, it's something high. Got that. Could be around Otis for the ocean and stuff like that.
How often do you post that?
We tested, I believe it's once every two to 3 years.
Okay.
Might be every year now. It started out, it was like 5 in a row. If you didn't have any, you go to every 3 years, I think, it's something to that effect.
When is our next PFAS?
We just. Next quarter, I'd have to look again, I don't want to give you the wrong answer. It's. We have a certain type twice a year. On a certain, it gets. In the spring and in the fall,
I think we're April and October.
yeah, so it.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to request that we have some kind of a regular plotting of PFAS, just because it's such a hot topic in our report here, much like the pumping. It's been, I know we've got a couple wells that have been registering some levels. I think it'd be nice to kind of have a, much like the pumping, updated cumulative historical, what's new.
You want another shot?
Another chart, yes, I love it. That would be my suggestion.
I think it's next one. I think I started some of that charting last spring.
That's right. Yeah.
At the last meeting, we voted to add sole source and Icon Prairie to another test well.
Yes,
Is that
we
correct?
did.
I think that hasn't happened yet. It's been a while. We just got that. That's it.
He was gone away, he had gone away, I believe, and it was also, our information has gone to, Mark Nelson. To
That's
see
right.
if he can fingerprint it, and I hadn't heard back from him, he said he would do it in his own time, he was going away too.
And I had requested that Tom and Mark kind of collaborate on that, just to get back to us. So it'd be nice to kind of, you may wanna, what's the word? Pay them? It's not the right word. I know I need to be paid once.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. There was an article in the Globe last week about PFAS contamination at a recycling facility in central Massachusetts. That was like a stump.
Yes.
I was kind of
Oh, interesting.
surprised to see that just, organic waste. was
Yeah.
pinpointed. Their levels were like in the 70s.
Yeah.
To the superintendent's report.
All right, superintendent's report read September 18th, 2024 for August. In August of 2023, we pumped 24,361,000. And in August of 2024, we pumped 26,146,000. For an increase of 1,785,000 gallons. Which I believe Shannon showed me was about a 7% increase in pumpage, and, we haven't had rain in 28 days, and before that, it was, some of these years, well, yeah, we had a, stretch yet, but hopefully we'll get going again.
I could add that our largest day this year was July 22nd at 401,000 was our largest day of pumping this year so far.
So I'll just jump in here. If I may. I asked Jen to send me the actual spreadsheet behind the beautiful graph. Did a little analysis here. Yeah. I looked at pumping versus rainfall. I meant to go back to 2019, because that's when we did the original, what was it, the original regulatory change, well, water.
Correct.
And I decided to plot it in 3 months, the peak irrigation period, June through August, but I also plotted it May through September, which is the broader, longer term irrigation period. And I think it's somewhat evident that the pumping, we have a downward pumping trend there. I didn't add the statistics, but I think you can see the declining pumping over time. And on the bottom, I've got rainfall. And obviously that's up and down. As you were suggesting, Chris, this has been a dry summer so far, although according to the data, so I was using NOAA rainfall from Hyannis. It looks like during June through August, we had a fairly.
It wasn't bad, more September than the end of it. Like I said, I think I was listening this morning, they said that Massachusetts is not registered rain, 28 days.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Scott,
Hmm.
to the chair, my little note
Yeah,
there.
yes.
Although the rainfall was approximately the same in 2022,
Yeah.
21 is 23. We brought down the pumping,
Yeah.
16%.
Yep.
So I think that's the way to analyze it, is look at years with similar rainfall.
Right,
see if
right.
The pumping's different.
Yeah,
Because, 2020 is always going to be the anomaly, because it was the COVID year, it was a drought year, it was the
right.
bad drought year.
Yeah.
And that was like the worst case scenario.
Yep.
But I think, if you look at 2023 and 2024, probably.
2024 is gonna be less. That's for sure. We're on a down, we were so low in the beginning of the year, something like 22% or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, pumping.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it
at
looks
the end
like
of
the
the next
same
month,
amount.
we'll have a 5-month period. I could add that to the plot here.
What does it take to be permanent?
The drought.
State
Yes, there are,
So many days without rain.
Yeah, there are
I think it's
statistics.
so many days without rain, they will consider a dry
Mhm.
spell. I think it's 60 days or something, again, with a certain amount of rain.
Got it.
I don't know if it's related to your mill pond at 149 Scott is worse than I've ever seen it.
Mill pond level
The scum line.
over on 149.
The algae, I've never seen that much algae.
Well,
I call it your mill pond.
thank you. I think it's the combination of increasing nutrients and increasing temperature. It's kind of like the
Unless,
perfect
unless
storm.
rain.
Yeah, and low flow.
Probably don't want to go swimming.
And that river, just interest, that Marston's Mills River that flows into Mill Pond, almost every river stream on Cape Cod is a gaining stream, meaning as you go downstream, it increases flow because groundwater, that stream from River Road down to Mill Pond actually significantly decreases in flow because of the pumping of the wells there. It's pulling water right
Those
out
are
of the
calm wells
Yeah.
behind Hayden's.
Yep. As I forget the percentage, but it's like 20-30% reduction of flow. It's like pretty unusual situation.
Well, now that we solved all of Katuitt's problems, we'll go solve problems.
Well, I forget, I think it was Dave that went to the town council meeting and didn't they were pretty interested in what we're doing here, right? Right, irrigation control standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. That and
Yeah. And where Barnstable is you know, they're kind of in a tough place in terms of place to put their treated wastewater and also water supply. This might be helpful. I'll just mention, I was asked to join the town, the new town Water Resources Advisory Committee, which hasn't met yet, but we're supposed to be looking at the 5-year update on the, CDEP Comprehensive Wastewater Plan. And Tom Camberry, I think, is gonna be on that too. Have you been asked to join? No, okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So that'll be starting soon. I think.
Yeah, Tom, was one of the original members of the Water Quality Advisory Committee years ago. And, back, we had a Commissioner, Jack Thomas, that was on it with him for a while. And when Jack left, they sent me over to be on to it. They ended up going, you know what, we decided we want, the superintendents to come in.
Yeah.
So we had about 3 years of it. And then, somebody said, wait a minute. There's, you can't have a committee with somebody who's not a, member of Boston. One of the superintendents lives in Sandwich. So they kind of dispersed the whole water quality committee. So I'm happy to hear that it's coming back.
Yep, it's for the 5-year update.
All right, there's really not much going on with, the associations out there right now, but it's more like training shows. They're doing all the fall shows. Actually, there's a, American New England Water Works show going on at the Falmouth Seacrest right now, doing classes and, stuff. We had 3 new services put in August, which is quite a bit more than we've had in a while. One put over on Wild Way, a new one on Putnam Ave, and a new one on Cedarwood Road, off of Proctor's Neck. So, and right now we have one replacement and 3 new in, applications in there. So it's all of a sudden things are picking up big time. I really don't have much not much has happened since last on the PFAS litigation. Just to let you know, I haven't heard any more. I got a postcard making sure that, telling me stuff that I already knew because of the lawyers. So, the W-2s, we have received our amended W-2s. As far as I know, I have not heard of anybody who has amended their taxes yet, though, because we just got them, I think a week and a half ago. So a lot of people go through TurboTax to do their stuff now, if they're doing them by themselves. So you gotta go back to them and try to do it, and we don't know what the cost is or anything like that. I think everybody's waiting for someone to make the first move on it. There was discussion, I think Dave said, I've heard a little bit of discussion at one of the, Prudential Committee members' meetings. They wanna find out how much it costs for people to do it and about the possibility of reimbursement.
Yes, so let me read an email from Ray Perone, the treasurer, on September 12th. We received the attorney's opinion that W-2 should be amended and immediately advised Paychecks of that fact on August 22nd. Paychecks advised us they had produced the W-2Cs. C stands for corrected on September 4th, but they declined to mail these directly to the individual, but did send these to the assistant treasurer by secure mail. The assistant treasurer then hand delivered the W-2Cs to the respective department heads to be passed to the individuals on September 9th. The Prudential Committee would want to understand the nature of the person's added cost before taking a position on any potential restitution. As treasurer, I would be required to have documentation for the public records to process for such payments.
Okay.
But you got an invoice from TurboTax.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's reimbursement, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as they okay, that's fine, yeah.
So, if you can collect any receipts and extra fees or
Yeah. And then, yeah,
or
you-
penalties, and,
Yeah.
we can then present those to the Prudential Committee.
Right.
Because I imagine this is also going to have firefighters and the treasurer, anyone else that's on the retirement.
Yeah, sure that everybody who is part of retirement, who takes retirement, had to get a new W-2.
Yeah, sorry it's taking so long, but wheels of justice turn.
Sandwood Woodlands, which is the, Route 28 property. Tuesday, the 24th, 10 a.m. is the hearing. Mark is gonna attend, I'll attend.
It's pretty pro forma.
Yeah, I think it's, Michelle, Regan, no. Jane? Allison?
Allison or Signal,
Allison Resigna, yeah.
VP Lakeville.
Yep, yeah, she'll do it, she's just gonna basically read the ad and see if there's anybody that objects to it, then hang up. I think we sent out 14.
We sent out 13 because the 14th was to the Board of Water Commissioners.
Correct.
And I handled it with them.
And we got back 8.
Yeah.
So some people didn't even go get their registered letter.
Yeah.
They don't really care, I guess, but
So I should say, the butter notification.
one of them was my father's. I did his mail for him, so I made him go in and get it. So it didn't have my signature on it.
And it is posted as an open meeting on our site as well as the town site
Okay, good.
with the legal notice.
And lastly, we did have a new guy start on the second, I believe, or the third. Third, thank you, which was because of the holiday, was on a Monday. So he started on Tuesday, it's only a couple weeks.
What's his
Can't
name?
really report on or anything. He's never done it. He needs some training, we'll say.
What's his name first?
Tim Rodriguez. Timothy. That includes me, unless anybody's got any questions.
You know, just one thought on that. I always thought it was good when some of the staff showed up at these meetings once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they should come to every meeting because that's asking way too much.
Yeah.
But maybe either we should stop by and say hello to him or have him check in here one night, just say, hey, I don't know. Just to have a more personal welcome. I don't know what's better. If he, think it would be,
I'd give him a little time.
okay,
Before you do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just, I think it would be good for him.
Okay,
Be a little more comfortable where everybody
Sure.
else comes and tells him what to do.
okay.
It's a big one, is that right now, when it's
I
going
was
on.
just thinking to say hello, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I did let him know that he was marking out your yard the other day. This is one of our commissioners.
Yes. What's all the marking going on? The gas guy was there today. You guys.
I was told there's a new crosswalk going in on Main Street,
A raised crest.
Where is it?
like in front of the post office on Main Street.
Oh, a traffic calming measure.
Isn't there?
Well, it's a handicap crosswalk.
There's a speed bump right there.
Yeah, it's like a handicap, because they have to raise it up to the side.
It's going in down by the library. Down by the library.
Because
Oh, library.
Library.
Oh, I was thinking post office.
Like the one in
Oh,
front of
like,
the
okay,
post
sorry.
office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
So, yeah, and we also got a phone call, from a concerned citizen that was upset that the trucks were idling on the side of Route 28 while they were marking out,
Main Street.
on Main Street, excuse me, yeah.
is his last name
And
Boy?
which we have to do for safety reasons to keep the emergency lights on so it doesn't drain back, anything like that, so. Some people, you know, Jen handled that very nicely.
Sidewalks at Katuah.
Yes.
Shall we move to old business? Scott, you're up.
Yeah, so I can be brief here. The last meeting, well, there's two things here. You already mentioned one, Dave, that is, Tom is, I think, agreed to go sample that monitoring well again. I suspect that will happen over the next month or so when he's back from travel. I had reported at the last meeting that I had reached out to a company, Renko, to look at the possibility of doing some sort of treatment collection system in this neighborhood right here, they keep calling Mariners Circle, is that a reasonable, what do we call this area? Should be that or do it now?
Little River Estates.
Little River Estates. Yeah. Little River Estates, okay. So, I mean, my goal here is, I'm concerned about Title V wastewater going in the ground here and going into the well, so. My view is the best thing would be that sewer to get out. Next best thing would be to provide some on-site treatment. As you know, we've been talking about ways to use enhanced IA systems, which is still, I think, considered. But where PFAS is one of the concerns, I can't confidently say that these EIA grades will treat PFAS because we just don't have the data yet. There's some good indication they might. But one option is, sewering down to 28 to Manus, although I think that's probably a couple decades away if it happens and if we can afford it. So Orenco is a company that does what they call low pressure sewer, which are, instead of a big pipe sewer, it's a small sewer. And what they do is they put in each house, each lot, they put essentially a tank that grinds up the wastewater. So it goes from a solid liquid to pure liquid. And they can pump it through a smaller, lower pressure, which supposedly saves a lot of money. And then we need to find a location for a treatment plant. It's named, like this, so the zone 2 is here, so I think, at least initially, they'll look at this corner here. Zone 2, because that simplifies regulatory requirements of the treatment plant. And then I think this is our land here. I got that right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that would be one, I mean, again, this is not a serious proposal, this is a conceptual for discussion. But the idea would be if we could do a collection system here, maybe it's someplace like here to provide treatment. I think that would be a really good safeguard going forward for our water supply. The Orenco people tell me that, their cost per house is around, I think, $25,000 for the sewer. And then we need to get a cost of treatment. That's probably less than half the price of traditional service. So it seems to me like a viable option. I did talk to them again after the last meeting. And they basically suggested that we wanted more detailed costs, we needed to go to an engineering firm to get a, preliminary analysis of this. So that would be something, if we're interested in taking that next step, we could look into. I know a lot of these firms. One is GHD, which has done a ton of work in the cave for towns. I have a very good relationship with them. I could ask them if the commissioners feel it's worthwhile as the next step to come up with a proposal to do a conception. My guess is we're talking like $5,000 or $10,000 worth of work to come up with a conception plan. Collection and if this may look at sites as an alternative. But my suggestion is that I think we should be proactive here and stay on this because default condition is wait for the town. CWMP, which is at least 20 years out, which I'm, for one, am not comfortable with. So that's my update. I still think the EIA on-site is worth considering, but I do think a collection and treatment system and getting that wastewater right out of it.
What about the Mashpee? What about the Mashpee?
Well, that would be, there's actually a group of people. It's off this map, so we're down, where's Quinn puts it? Foster, right here somewhere, right here, right here. So this group,
Well, that's
right, this group is looking at tying town sewer.
the Mashpee.
Yeah, and so far, they're feeling they have the capacity. And that's one of the problems, is a lot of towns.
Is that town, I understand the town of Willow, Mashpee discussing, Willow's.
Yes. Yep.
And seeing if,
believe that is what, this is name, Markovitz. Does that name ring a bell? He's been working with Bruce Walton, trying to. There's a group that's focused on history, but they're trying to do this. And they looked at sending the map. What I've heard recently is they have capacity issues in that. So I'm not sure. And that would be a little bit. We're down there. Yeah. I mean, what I kind of learned about wastewater stuff is more local, you can keep it, the cost standpoint, you're gonna save a lot of money, because the pipes, not only the pipes, but long-term, I call it permanent, because probably talking 50 years worth of pumping wastewater, which is a huge commitment. So I kind of think the idea of something more local, but it's a serious proposal, this is just something I see on this map. But if we were to hire somebody like GHD, they could do a more detailed cost analysis, collection. And they could look around and come up with pretty list for locations. And then one of my thoughts is, we come up with a plan, we can then go back to town and propose caution, because this is, the advantage of the town, this is flowing in. So that would be, what happens, some of the stuff that's involved with pumping, you're not pumping to the bottom. So we would have a double benefit. Helping the bay plus protecting our wells, thinking we could make a good pitch to the town to get them to touch. There's all kinds of grant money and financing money through the town. Finance these things.
So you also have to get the town to require.
Yes.
Good word.
Well, there's one way to do it is required, the other way is incentives. A lot of people, if we pay for it, some people might say, oh, I don't have a septic system anymore. You know, it improves, there's some theories that it improves property value. So there could be a combination of requirement and incentives. But yes, the easy way to do it is through helping. But none of the stuff is easy.
Well, say easy, you know, if there's costs.
It is long-term costs, because if you do that, you're gonna have to get a sewer operator. Somebody to be certified, it's gonna have to be there, either checking, I don't know what it would be, which plant to be rated at. You know, the guys that were GHD, they just had a big mix-up there a year ago. And that was who I had doing work for us over on
Oh, really?
Lewis Pond, yeah. And all the people that were working there at the time that I worked with all ended up another firm called EDR. And that's who we ended up going over to EDR and having them do the work. And everything. Yeah, GHD has done a lot for us in the past, but all the people that did it over there are gone.
Yeah, I just mentioned it because I'm working with them in 3 towns right now. And I think
Yeah.
they really do like doing very good work. But there are a number of firms.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Yeah. That's quite I think we got 128 acres in there where the ball field is. So yeah, so we were talking. Yeah,
Frankly, I feel like the town, DPW, which is running the show, CWMP, Comprehensive Waste Book, they have the answer. They have a lot of stuff. I mean, they're having trouble just trying to work with the wastewater treatment. So this is gonna be one of, many things. So I think that's why my feeling is we should be, proactive. Not be waiting for the town. This could be a very long wait.
there's gonna be a lot of people looking for injection. They're looking for their injection stuff. Yeah. You know, and that might be something that's thinking today. I mean, there's different areas here that they'd love to get into, anything that's large and undeveloped. They want to get permission to go in there and inject treated water, treated sewage, like it was said.
I think this is a scary situation.
Well, it's been a scary situation for 50 years.
Right.
What kind of disposal, you're not talking about bed, you're talking about injection.
It would probably be, Well, the most common way is subsurface infiltration, like a big leak. That's the best. There are, Orleans is doing an injection. But I think that's not necessary. I think it's simple, low cost, it's just treat it, infiltrate it. And if you put it here, certainly not gonna get any of the wells. You'd be going from like 35 milligrams per liter down to 3 to 5, so it's 90% renewable nitrogen. And, they can certainly treat the PFAS too, if we get the right treatment. Plus, even if we get it out of the water, I mean, it'd be 90% renewable here, 100% renewable here. And we literally get all the wastewater.
Piggyback, drinking water treatment with wastewater treatment?
Well, that's the alternative. I mean, some towns are saying, let's put a bunch of wastewater in our drinking water, we'll treat it well. That's very expensive.
Right.
Um,
But I mean, the manganese and the iron and.
Well, I think iron manganese is coming from the wetlands.
Right.
I think now that we're pumping less, we're gonna see less iron and manganese. I think we're seeing some of those benefits. But we have to ask engineers if how they, I mean, you're right. In fact, we could ask them, that's another study. We could ask them to do an evaluation. Wellhead treatment, at the wellhead versus wastewater. My guess is wastewater treatment is gonna be a lot less expensive. But I don't know,
Wow, okay.
just because it's much lower. I mean, this is like, I don't know what to do here. This is 50 to 100 homes. And the flows are going to be small percentage of what you're treating right here. And then once you go to the treatment at the well, it's a long-term commitment to carbon filtration. But for something like this, I think it's about $1 million a year. It's all that. So.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a believer in, prevention is less expensive than treating at the well, but that's something we could get an engineering analysis of that too. I just feel like I want to be proactive. Wait for
Well,
the PFAS.
I'm glad you're in this advisory.
Yeah,
On the CWMP, because at the workshop in June, the council, they said, now that we go into this next phase, we're gonna figure out two. It's always been an out.
yes, yeah.
On the plan. And they acknowledged as much, that they don't have. In fact, it's publicly stated that all of that versus way is not.
Yeah.
They ruled out the joint base and shrugged about Mashpee.
I mean, one thing I could do as an interim step is, but I've been in pretty regular contact with BOWC, who's sort of in charge of this with DPW, and just kind of run this by him and say, this is what we're thinking about doing, can you help us out here? Or should we go on our own and start our own plan?
What is the town own for property?
Sorry.
What is the town own for property in this area?
Moss, Moss. Yeah. Yeah, that town, that Boston Center, they don't have whole time.
They own the pie piece all the way. And they wanted to put a solar array there and that didn't go.
Oh, that was us.
Yes, us.
No, the one that was going, there was one proposal behind us.
Oh, I lost it on the well.
That was you guys?
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. Because that close. Yeah, that was around Station One, yeah, it's up right there, yeah.
That's for the solar. array.
Yeah, and then on the other side, yeah.
But there was a second proposal to put one.
I think there was something from the town.
Yeah, that got yelled at.
Yeah. Is the other side of the town area here? Yep, that's something. That's.
That's good.
Oh, wait, where's your mom?
No, across the street.
Down below, see those off there? Oh, I'm sorry. Right, that's just the old center. Okay. Right.
My family's.
Anyways, that's what I guess.
Thank you. Mark, conservation restriction. Okay, I haven't either. I will call the town.
You know, I mean,
Attorney again.
this has got two strikes against it. One is, like, I think I mentioned the backlog of reviewing CRs at the state level.
Right.
And the second strike is, there's no deadline on this.
Right.
So those combinations, things are just gonna keep getting,
Let's just keep it.
but I don't even know if the town is sent it to the state.
That's what I'm trying to get, word from Karen Nover's office. I'll call them again. And, I have sent an email to Representative Diggs asking for an update on the enabling legislation, when he intends to file, and what he expects the process to look like, but no response yet.
Yeah, I mean, we think we talked about the fact that we're at deadlines to file bills.
Yeah.
That was, there's a losing here.
Well,
Missing that deadline.
I'll keep asking, and it'll be on notice that we can. Any other old business?
No, I haven't written my sodium letter yet. I think,
Oh,
I think that the, I'm gonna have to educate myself more about the issue. It's just easy to say, let's get rid of sodium chloride, but, you know, somebody said last time, oh, we gotta watch, I think it was Chris, you gotta watch out for PFAS and the other alternatives.
right.
So I'm gonna have to not say mine. There's a good source to learn about
Sodium.
alternatives to road salt.
Well, you know, the guy, I keep forgetting his name, Matt Burrow. Bruce Young, he seems to be a bit of an expert, so you might wanna, if you wanna pursue this, reach out to him. He seemed like he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, he is good at it.
He's pretty,
Could I ask Jen to give me his
I
contact?
mean, I'm not an expert on that by any means. He seemed to have his,
And then what I wanna do is use that as a way to craft a letter that's not just saying, hey, town, cut it out, but saying, you know, why. And the benefits of the alternatives. And if the town says it's gonna cost more, well, you know, maybe some of us water districts can put our money where our mouth is and help create the subsidy. But maybe you're an ATM, just like you changed to spend money on road salt.
Well, if you can get the other
Yeah.
water departments chime in, right, a little bit of muscle. Review and approval of prior meeting minutes. I think I had a correction on page 1.
yeah, paragraph 4, beginning with Commissioner Horsley. There is, I think it should say, in the third line, it says, and has exceeded. It should say, and has not exceeded reported concentration. Is that right, Chris?
Yes.
And then I'm not sure what the next sentence means. This same result is not currently present in the samples. I don't know what that means.
The
Taken at the wells, not the testings.
I'm sorry?
So it was my understanding that limit, the 15.8 that was referenced in the
Yep.
sentence
that's in the
before
bottom,
is
yeah.
at the test wells.
Yeah,
And that the same results aren't
in
taken.
their production.
in the production.
Pumping productions. Yep, I will clarify
So
that as
so I
well.
would say it should change to not exceeded and then not present in the production wells instead of samples.
Production.
And with that, I would recommend approval as amended.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
That page and then with the corrections on the first page.
Waters not anticipated by none comes to mind.
Anticipate every.
And me? Any public comment? Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Not mine either.
And that leads us to next meeting.
16th, it's the third state.
It's good for me.
Sounds like a fun one.
I say that's the holiday week too, just in case anybody.
Yeah, it's the holiday week. I'll be away the week before. Jen can certainly help anybody if they need anything.
23rd is okay with me.
Well, let's say the 16th.
16th?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go for the 16th. And that concludes the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Record, this is a record. Shortest meeting in a while.
Mark must have done some pretty quick meetings.